This year's service plan relates to a budget of 13.4 billion, which is an increase of 71.5 million. And that reflects the fact that we have a number of new spending and unavoidable pressures amounting to 748 million and targeted savings which were set out on budget day of 721 million. So overall the position is slightly improved, and that's allowed us to take a different approach to the figures. So hospitals are facing an incoming projected deficit from 2012 of 271 million, along with further cost pressures that may arise as the year goes on. Primary care schemes have a cost reduction challenge of 383 million, and community schemes don't have a projected incoming deficit, but like the hospitals will have to deal with any additional pressures which may also arise during the year. It also provides for a net reduction of over 2,400 staff in the year ahead. So it has many challenges, but it also has a significant number of opportunities, and I wanted to take the opportunity just to talk about some of those. We've taken a slightly different approach to the service planning process this year and are trying to address historic deficits in a number of services that in recent years have tripped up the whole organisation's finances in the mid-year and led to extraordinary financial measures being taken which haven't really been in the interests either of our patients or clients or of our organisation and the services we provide. So this year we're rebasing the funding for hospitals globally. There will be differences in the way we approach the funding of each hospital, and that will become clear shortly. But we're putting an extra 271 million euros into hospitals this year in order to rebase them. We also have a significant challenge in the order of 383 million of cost changes that we need to make in our primary care schemes. Community and other services didn't bring in significant historic deficits this year, and we're seeking to keep those at a manageable level. So the message to managers in our system this year is that given the climate that we're in, we've sought to provide realistic budgets with cost reduction targets that are achievable, and against that we expect managers and other colleagues working in the service to do all that they have to do to ensure that our services break even this year and that we avoid the type of financial crisis that's been so harmful in recent years. The ingredients are there now to achieve those improvements, and the reality is that if those improvements aren't being delivered, we'll have to look to the quality and accountability of those who lead our services. In particular, with this new financial settlement, I'm going to move towards an environment of zero tolerance for allowing budgets to go out of control. In times when perhaps the challenges set were less realistic, we may have grown used to a culture of not being so focused on delivery of the targets. But the targets this year, particularly in the acute hospital sector, are extremely realistic, and therefore we'll be expecting everyone who is responsible for the management of a budget to manage to that budget, while also ensuring that the services we need are delivered to the right quality and with the right degree of accessibility. The message for all of our staff is that while the financial position is stabilising, there are still significant challenges in order to produce that balanced outcome. We will have the funds available to meet the needs of our clients, but we do still have to reduce the fundamental costs, and that will mean changes in the workplace. It means, for example, a net reduction of 2,400 staff, but to be managed in a much more focused way than hitherto. That will mean that we'll have to look at whether our rosters are appropriate. It will mean that we'll have to work closely with the staff and their representative bodies in the context of both Croke Park and the discussions ongoing on an extension to Croke Park. It will mean being open to new models of working, but ones that make sense. And this is also the year in which we'll be moving our services to new organisational models, which will seek to empower those closest to service delivery, but to make decisions that make sense to enable them to use the resources that this service plan provides to provide services in the best way possible to their clients and their patients.